Good evening, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. It is a Tuesday night. Anyways, listen. Just know that I'm always here for you. I've tried to plan things and have guests on the show, but more times than not, they don't follow through. But I'm always here for you. That's my thing. Time committed, content committed, whatever. But try to plan a few different things. I promise you, in the next month, we're gonna do a video. I'm not gonna tell you about it all together, but I'm working on it. It's been in the works for like 3 or 4 weeks, but I just can't get the people to commit to actually show up and come on and drink free bourbon. Strange. You would think, and I will pour you good stuff, like just come on the show. But for whatever reason, they haven't been able to do so. Even tonight, like my buddy George was supposed to come over, but apparently he's out chasing tail or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyways, we did hit 100 subscribers like 2 days ago or whatever. Did a video the other night celebrating that. So we're going to continue on those lines, since the other content I wanted to do and people showing up hasn't happened. So anyways, we're going to do 4 allocated bottles tonight. Like I guess the night before I did Blanton's, which was my very first. You know what? I'm going to add one more to this. I apologize. I'll grab it in just a minute. But we're going to do Blanton's, which was like my first allocated bottle I ever bought. We're going to do Weller Antique 107. We're going to do a Colonel Taylor barrel proof. What is this baby? It's like hot. 130.3. Delicious. And then we're going to do, I thought George was going to come up since he didn't show up, last 2 episodes when I did 5 ryes to make you right. I was going to pull out an allocated rye with Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, which is the best rye I've ever had. And then, give me 1 second. I'm going to go pull out another bottle because we're celebrating 100 subscribers. And, okay, I won this in a lottery, acquired this, other means. But I was going to, not only, last night I did, because Blanton's was the first allocated bottle I ever got. So now, I'm going to pull out the first lottery bottle I ever got. Let me find it here. Where are you at, Stagg? Oh, it's over here in the. We're gonna pull out a bottle of Stagg because that was the very first lottery bottle I ever got. So we'll do that too. That'll be a fresh cork. So that'll be good. Let me grab my corkscrew while I'm at it. I know I'm all over the place, but things don't go as planned. So we're gonna do all 5 of these. All right. Where do we start? You know what? I'm going to start off with the very first allocated bottle I ever got. Not this specific one. I've finished 3 of these, but Blanton's, I mean, Bourbon Quests go a lot of different directions. But I feel like once you get into bourbon, and especially if you're like most of us are chasing the allocated bottles, Blanton's is probably like, your first choice, your first love. Granted, I wish we could go back to the days where all this stuff was readily available on the shelf, but that's not the case here in 2021, and probably will not likely be the case for several more years. Hopefully, at some point before I die, we can just get what we want and it's good and not have to like hunt, chase, grease palms, kiss babies. Alright, cheers, Bourbon Quest, a little Blantons. I feel like that's, you know, the entry into alligator bourbon is Blantons. Everybody's chasing them. People want their horsey tops, whatever. I'm gonna grab a few more glasses. I was just gonna drink out of the same glass, but I'm gonna grab a few more glasses. Hey, thanks for your patience and understanding. Tonight's show's a little off kilter, but I'm glad you're here with me. Grab a few more Glencairns here to taste these. Alright, that should be it for me getting out in front of camera. Alright. So, alright. My first two probably allocated bourbons were number one Blanton's, which the first time I bought it, I way overpaid. I paid $120 and I got 2 bottles. I had a buddy come meet me and I got 2 bottles because I was chasing it. I would not recommend that. It's not worth $120. Retail should be $70, $75, $80, and I'd pay $100. I'd pay $100 for it if I, you know, didn't have it. Anything above $100, trust me. There's if you just dying to spend $100, there's better whiskeys and bourbons to spend $100 on than Blanton's. But I get it. I mean, I paid $120 for the first 2 bottles that I've gotten. Since then, I've not paid more than $5 above MSRP, because that's what it's worth. Okay, it is good though. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Again, hey, I want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel, helping me hit 100. You know, my next big goal will be hitting 500, and I'll announce, you know, what we're going to do in celebration of that at a later date. But thank you, everyone, and continue to subscribe, hit this like button, notifications. We put out a lot of content. Alright. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is a little Weller Antique 107. This is probably this was probably the second allocated bottle that I ever got. Weller Antique 107. And I think MSRP on it is probably around 60 bucks. And there again, I was brand new into my Bourbon Quest and I paid $100 for my first bottle of Antique. Since then I paid MSRP, which I believe is around 60 bucks. But, you know, I hadn't had one. I mean, $100, I don't mind paying that for a $60 bottle. I don't mind paying, you know, 20-30% over retail under normal circumstances. If I've never had it, I pay a little bit more, which I did in that case. But I've had opportunities to buy other allocated bottles, and when they start wanting 100, 200, 300, 400% markup over retail, no, I ain't paying double. I don't mind paying a premium 20-30%. You're already making money. That's just greed and ridiculousness. And you know, and I'm drinking these and sharing these. But alright, enough about that. Here's a little Weller Antique 107. Yeah, just offers more flavor, more complexity, a lot of caramel and cherry and vanilla. Delicious bourbon, especially for a wheater. Oh yeah, that's actually better than I remember it. I mean, it was never bad. It was always good. But all right. So yeah, my two first allocated bottles, probably Blanton's and Weller Antique. Overpaid for both of them the first time. All right, so this is delicious. This is a this is Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof. Was able to win this in a lottery. The 130.3 proof. A little pour. Ooh, that's more than I wanted. This is going to be, this right here will be in contention for Bourbon of the Year for 2021. It's delicious. Oh my God. This is like sex and candy. I mean, vanilla, caramel, I mean, god damn. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I like sex and candy. This is sex and candy right here. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Oh, just butterscotch and caramel, vanilla. I mean, big Kentucky hug. It's freaking delicious. I wish everybody could enjoy this Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof. I mean, I was lucky and fortunate to be able to get this bottle, and it's freaking fantastic. It really is. And listen, I'm not saying that to like slap you in the face or whatever because you don't have it and I do. No, I wish that more of you Bourbon Questers could acquire this because it's fantastic. And and truthfully, it's not because it's allocated. Like, people like this because it's allocated. It's good, it's not great, but this is highly allocated. I mean, the only reason I got it was through a lottery. And I wish more people could experience this because it's amazing. I mean, it's... Alright, so honestly, which I wasn't doing on the channel last year. I just started my Bourbon Quest in March of 2020. And, yeah, started my channel a couple months ago. But my number one bottle, if I were doing a video, regardless, it is still my number one bottle. Last year, 2020, my favorite bottle that I experienced was Bardstown Discovery Batch 3. That was delicious, but I mean, I would take this Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof probably over it. Oh, I'm sure I would. I mean, there'll be some other opportunities for some Bourbons of the Year for 2021, but that one's going to be right up there for sure. I guarantee you. All right, so the next bottle that we're going to taste is Stagg Jr. Baby Stagg. And, you know, Bourbon Questers, you can tell me what batch it is because I don't keep up with that shit. But this is the 130.2 proof I don't know if that's 15, 16, 17, 14, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. They're all delicious. But anyways, I'm going to do a fresh bottle cork on this one. This was, I think it's got a little tab. This was the very first bottle, not this particular one, but the Stagg Junior was the very first bottle I ever won in a lottery. Oh, nice cork pot. Anyway, so like a coworker of mine, Jay, and shout out to Jay, he won me my first ever lottery bottle. And Jay, at that time, this was like a year ago, he was either like 21, 22. So, you know, brand new newbie. But he won me that bottle. And so I invited Jay over along with some other friends. And I'm like, Jay, you won me this bottle, bro. I'm going to give you the very first pour out of it. He's like 21, 22 years old. Jay, I pour it in the Glencairn. He's like, he sniffs it a little bit. And then it's probably like a 2-ounce pour. He just throws it back. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to sip that. And he's like, well, that's some damn good shit. I'm like, oh my God, you're supposed to sip that, Jay, not just throw it back. But hey, Jay, we need to reconnect. I love you, bro. You got me my first bottle in the lottery. It was a Stagg Junior. That's what we're gonna do right now. And then, oh, yeah, well, it's okay. This was a brand new bottle cork, and this was, I mean, I already drank the one that Jay won me like a year ago. But this is a new bottle of Stagg Junior that I got. So, it goes into the infinity bottle. There you go. But, where's it? Oh, there it is. So, Stagg Junior, delicious. Man, you might have some competition, Colonel Taylor. Now that I've opened it, that will join the ranks of the top bourbons. Sweet cherry vanilla, caramel, oak. Yeah. Alright, cheers, Bourbon Quest. Wow. That is like dark cherry, chocolate, vanilla, caramel, spice. That's delicious. No, that really is. Alright, I'm going to have to do a little water take because Colonel Taylor and Stagg are in a smackdown. Alright, so I'm going to go back to Colonel Taylor. That's delicious. Yeah, I mean, that's freaking fantastic. It really is. Alright. Celebration on 100 subscribers, Bourbon Quest. Stagg Junior. Wow. That's like more vanilla and chocolate-y, but honestly, I can't rank one over the other. They're both freaking fantastic. I mean, alright, nobody wants a tie. The Colonel Taylor and the Stagg Jr. that I have here are both fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Like, again, I'm not about paying over retail, but I'd pay over $200 for both of these. They're better than other $200 bottles that I've had, which MSRP is like 60 to 70, 70 to 80. But, and I know I said previously I ain't paying double over MSRP, but yeah, for these two, this is like 65, 70. I mean, I'd pay $200. Same thing here, like 75, 80. I'd pay $200. I'm not paying more than that. I mean, but these are two of the finest bourbons that I've had, honestly. Colonel Taylor's going to be in the mix for Whiskey of the Year. This Stagg Jr. will also be. They're phenomenal. Alright, so I did it a couple days ago. 5 ryes to make it right. And I thought George was going to come over, and since he wasn't there for the 5 ryes to make you right, I was going to give him a little pour of the best rye I've ever had. But since we're celebrating, we're going to continue on, and it is October, so we're going to do a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. Because this, by far, in my bourbon quest, is the greatest rye I've ever tasted. So, Jack Daniel's, bro. Alright. Oh my God. It's sweet, it's pine, it's mint. I mean, all those traditional rye expressions that you want. So good. I can nose this thing all day. That's what she likes. She likes it when I nose it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Alright. That rye spice, mint, pine tree. You know what I like about it is that it's so pine forward and rye forward, and I'll be honest, I don't think that's what traditionally Jack Daniel's was about, but they fucking nailed it on this rye, single barrel proof rye. I mean, it's freaking delicious. This is, yeah, it's 132.6 proof. 132.6 proof. And now it drinks hot, but maybe if I didn't know, I'd say 125 or something, but it is, again, that's when I think if you're a rye drinker, man, I hope you can get a bottle of that. I know it's not easy. It's highly allocated. But it is freaking fantastic. I mean, it's just the right amount of rye spice, mint, and pine tree with a little bit of orange. I mean, it's freaking delicious. And like I said the other night, I'm not a big rye guy, but I'm developing in that area. But that's the most delicious rye I've ever had. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. None of my guest hosts appeared tonight. That's okay. At least you're here. But my first allocated bottle of Blanton's delicious. My second allocated bottle, both of these I overpaid for. The Waller Antique 107. Very good wheated bourbon. Man, but the next three will be intention for Whiskey of the Year. I mean, obviously, Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof, freaking fantastic. The Stagg Junior, delicious. And then, I mean, we'll see. Like, just because I'm not a big rye guy, it probably doesn't have an entirely puncher's chance, but now if I was just drinking ryes, it'll be up there. But I'm glad I got a bottle of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye because it's freaking fantastic. But I'm still gonna obviously prefer typically a high proof bourbon over that. But anyways, listen. Things didn't go exactly as I planned tonight. I was hoping to have some guests on tonight, but at the end of the day, it's really about you, the Bourbon Quest community. The fact that you subscribe, that you smash that like button and leave comments, that's what I care about. You're my fans. And stay tuned, alright? How about that? Alright, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to say cheers, Bourbon Quest, and may all your Bourbon Quest journeys come true. That's my wish for you. Good night, Bourbon Quest. Thanks for 100 subscribes. Let's get to 500 and we'll get a cat.